Hey, welcome back to Carl Prusa MMA. Here with a special guest, Wonderboy, the NMF.
The NMF, yes, the nicest mofo in the UFC.
All right, Stephen, we're here at Buford Brawl 3. Before you got into the UFC, you fought on a bunch of different regional cards, different promotions. We're here at a fully amateur contest. What is it like to be back here and seeing some guys who might be starting out their MMA career?
Dude, it's awesome, man, because it brings back memories. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Here Comes the Boom. But, you know, I've been up through amateur levels, fighting in cages that have fallen apart during halfway through the show, you know, outside in the freezing cold or in the rain, just all. But this is a great show. It's a really cool facility, got some good fighters. Everybody's hyped for the venue, and I'm here to support some local teammates.
You know, a lot of people watch MMA now, a lot of people watch the UFC, but a lot of people don't realize maybe 15, 20 years ago, this sport was not socially acceptable as what it is now. Do you have any crazy fighting horror stories, maybe earlier on in your career, mystery opponents, no weigh-ins, adverse conditions?
Man, okay, so this one haunts me still to this day. So I was in a casino, fighting in a casino up north. This was probably one of my, I think maybe 10th kickboxing fight, still amateur. It was a tournament-style kickboxing event, and so everybody was smoking in the casino, right? And the ceilings were fairly short, so we're up here fighting and all this cigarette smoke. And I remember I was probably 17 years old. At the end, the referee was getting ready to call my name, and you see me kind of do this. I throw up 3 times in my mouth, and I swallow it every time. You know, and at one point I gag, and it squirts out, right? And then finally, when he raised my hand, I projectile vomit all in the ring. I mean, it covered probably half the ring. And next thing I know, I'm upstairs in my hotel room because it was in a casino, and I left my dad there to clean everything up. He was so mad. I threw up everywhere. And for years, people were like, "Oh, you're that dude that threw up in the ring, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." Terrible, terrible.
You know, on the card tonight, one of the guys who trains with you, Mr. Gabriel Basso, Mr. Night Agent. He's in action tonight.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to his fight? What can we expect to see from him?
Well, my man Gabriel, you know, when he's not acting, he's wanting to kind of pursue that fighting dream of his. He's a very powerful guy, good instincts for only having one fight. He's been down here for probably 2 or 3 weeks maybe, short notice fight actually. So he wanted to get something in before they start season 2, and here we go. I mean, we're going to go out there, and we're going to go out there and have some fun. That's what it's all about. He's got the skill level to go out there and do what he needs to do to get, leave with a W, possibly get a KO. He's got that one-hitter quitter power, man. So watch out.
You know, right now in South Carolina MMA, we see a lot of different shows. There's a bunch of different monthly, regional, amateur shows. Obviously, you and your dad, you guys have a gym. You have students who compete at them. For you, what is that like, just knowing now we're at a time where, these guys in South Carolina have that opportunity to fight and maybe get some shots with the big shows?
Yeah, man, it's great because, as of right now, I'm one of another that fight in the UFC, right? And it's great to see, the sport grow in South Carolina. A lot of different gyms popping up. A lot of different promotions, so it gives us guys down south an opportunity to go out there and compete and fight, and to be able to show the crowd the skills that we have that took years to build up and to develop, and now we can go out there and do it. So it's great, man. I love coming to these shows and seeing these guys go out there and give it their all, because it's easy to say that you can do it. Oh, I can go out there and do that, right? But it takes a very special somebody to actually go out there, step out there, and leave it all out there in front of everybody, because you can't hide in front of a team. It's not baseball or basketball. It's just you and your opponent, and all eyes are on you. So, I mean, it's difficult.
Before we end here, we got to talk about your career a little bit. You have a very big contest coming up December 16th, Shavkat Rakhmonov. And for me, it's crazy because I just think back to watching you rise to become the name that you are, fighting the guys like Chris Clements, Johnny Hendricks, Rory McDonald. And now you're kind of in a different position. You're welcoming a guy who's a top prospect. You're the veteran, you're welcoming the prospect. What is the mindset going into a contest like this?
Well, my mindset's always the same. I've spent years doing this. I've been in the martial arts since I was 3 years old. My last fight was a year ago in December. So fighting again, so it took me a year. My last opponent didn't make weight, so I'm sitting here without an opponent. The UFC kind of wanted me to fight a little sooner, but I've been in training camp since April, so I had to give my body time to heal up. So when I got the word that Shavkat Rakhmonov doesn't have a fighter, I'm like, hey, this dude is potentially could be one of a future welterweight champ. He's undefeated, 100% finish rate. I'm your guy. So to go out there and prove myself and show the UFC that I still have it, because some people are sleeping on because I'm 40, you know, but I feel like I'm 25. You know, I feel like I'm 25, and I'm still growing every day. I think that has a lot to do with my style and the way we train, you know. So I'm able to keep my body healthy and tuned up. So December 16th, man, UFC 296, I'm ready to rock. Wait, is it 296? Yeah, it's 296.
You know, in your last fight, I think people, if they watch that, they would think you're 25 because you did a 5-round war of Kevin Holland, one of the fights of the year. I mean, it was an absolutely crazy performance. You know, a lot of striking, rock and sock'em robot style fight. Were you expecting that?
100%. We kind of had an unwritten agreement to go out there and put on a show. You know, the 2 fights that I had before that was against Gilbert Burns and Bilal Muhammad. And Gilbert Burns, you know, I didn't realize that guys could win fights that way, just holding you down. So, and the fans weren't happy with it. So I wanted to give him a fight. Me and Kevin both wanted to show that, you know, we were going to put on a show, and we were a main event, and we wanted to rock everybody. It was a rocking, man. He smoked me in the first round, made me see stars. We both broke our hands in that fight. It was awesome, man. And those are the kind of fights I want to put on. I want to entertain the UFC and the fans for sure.
All right, last question for you, Wonderboy. In a perfect world, what goes down December 16th?
You know, I don't look for a knockout. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I always visualize my hand being raised, and that's what I visualized out there. I'm prepared for a 3-5-minute round war, and I'm gonna come out with that W, man. I'm gonna prove to the world that I deserve another title shot.
That's Demon Thompson, Carla Prusa. Stick around.